I'm literally white knuckling it downhill, panicking, two-fisting and trying to downshift because all the little cars, you have to pay extra for an automatic. So,
You were driving a manual?
it was scary. I will never do that again, ever.
That's terrifying.
I'm gonna die. Nobody knows where I'm at.
Hello, welcome to Between Us. I'm Emma, and I'm here with my wonderful mother, Amy. And today we have a really exciting topic to talk about. We're going to talk about travel. Yay!
Grown-up travel.
Grown-up travel time.
All kinds of travel. I think experiences from camping in the wilderness, which I call dirt camping. There's a difference. If anybody is like me, my idea of camping is going to a hotel that doesn't offer room service. The fact that I have to actually get out of the hotel
Amen.
and go find food and forage for food.
And forage for food.
That's camping to me.
Yeah. I don't hate camping, but I don't like it. I just don't like the idea of laying on the earth, even if it's in a tent and a sleeping bag. It's just like, it's not a good experience. Why would I do that for fun, you know?
And I will tell you, I was pregnant with you when I was camping for the very last time. I refused to do tent dirt camping after that. I was potty training your middle brother, Matt.
Fantastic.
And I was pregnant with you. Yeah, it was not a lot of fun. I might have been like 5 months pregnant, 6 months pregnant. Yeah. No, never again.
You were pregnant and you were camping?
Yeah, and it was for my birthday too.
Why would you choose that to do for your birthday?
Because we were broke and we had nothing to do. And now
that's sad, actually.
Yeah, my birthdays now are always something I plan.
Yeah.
Last year I think I didn't plan anything last year for some reason. I think I was just too busy with work and everything. But we've always done something for my birthday.
We have. We went not across the country. We went out of the country for your 50th.
That was a great experience, actually, because every day was my 50th birthday. So having you guys there to celebrate in the land where you were legally old enough to drink was a lot of fun. And
really appreciated that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, Aruba was great. And very windy.
Aruba was beautiful. Yeah. I don't know, maybe that was the season, but I have heard that Aruba does get those, I don't know if they call them trade winds, but they get those in there, but I love the heat. Yeah. It's a desert island, which is so cool because you get like all the cacti and then you also get the palm trees. So it's very weird.
Yeah. It is a weird.
I'd love Aruba. I'd go back.
Me too.
I'd definitely go back.
I would go back.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe for my 60th.
That's crazy. This doesn't have anything to do with traveling, but it's just something that is boiling my blood as we speak. Because, okay, so my friend has a wedding that's coming up. She's getting married. I'm the matron of honor. That sounds like I'm like 80 years old, but I'm the ripe age of 25, so it's okay. It's just, it sounds weird. Anyway, so I got my bridesmaid's dress. I bought it online on this website called .com. We'll see if I keep that in there, depending on if they respond to me. Anyway, I bought this dress. It's this like really pretty tulle blue dress. The bride, I showed her the picture and she really liked the dress for me. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll get this one. And so I bought it a month ago now and haven't heard anything back from the company. And I was like, okay, maybe they just have to like make the dress and that takes a while. So I emailed them and I just wanted like confirmation that they had my order and they were at least making it. I didn't really care that it wasn't going to be shipped out anytime soon because I still have some time before the wedding. And I didn't hear back for about a week and a half. And then Evan was like, okay, why don't we just cancel the order because this is getting a little sketchy. So before I canceled the order, I did some research, went online, and it was so hard to find anything legit about this website or if it was a scam website or not. But then I went onto their Facebook page that they have, and the reviews were all like 1-star reviews, and there was like 20 people that made reviews on this website, and they were like, this is a scam, like don't order from this website. It takes forever for them to ship. They don't respond to their customers. Like they have terrible customer service. And if you do receive your dress, it's going to be really, really cheaply made. And I spent $125, which is the average price-ish for like a nice bridesmaid dress. And I was like, I swear to God, if I just got scammed, I'm going to be so pissed. So I ended up emailing them, and I was like, hi, I'd like to cancel my order. Please let me know if there's any information that you need from me, blah, blah, blah. Right away, I got an email back from them, which is very funny. They were like, oh my gosh, if you keep your order, we'll take 10% off your order, or we can give you a 15% coupon for another dress. And I was like, actually, like, I would really like to cancel my order if that's okay. And then they emailed back again, and they told me their cancellation policy is as follows. So 24 hours after you purchase the item, you can cancel your dress, whatever, your order. A couple days after, you get like maybe like half a refund or something like that. But because it's been a while, like it was like a couple weeks, I guess maybe almost a month from when I ordered it, they said they could give me back what I paid for shipping. And that's it.
Are you kidding me?
No.
So did they tell you if you kept your order when you were going to get it back?
No, I asked that in this email.
Yeah.
So I was like, that pisses me off, because they said in their email, because they need the money to, you know, pay for the materials to make the dress, and they've already been making the dress. Who knows if they actually have been. So they're only going to give me back my shipping costs. And I was like, actually, I'll just keep the dress instead. And I would like to take your before offer and take the 10% off for keeping my order. And I was actually really nice in the email. I was like, could you please just let me know a timeline of when it might be shipped out, just so I know? And I sent that email like 6 days ago, maybe. No response.
Wow. So I would have fought back and said, can you point to me on your website the cancellation policy? Number one, was it addressed in your confirmation email that you got when you got the dress? They sent you a confirmation email, right?
They did. That was my own fault. I honestly didn't look at the cancellation policy, but I was just so sketched out that, like, instead of actually looking on their website and looking at, you know, what their cancellation policy might be, I just wanted to cancel it because I was like freaked out that they just scammed me for like $125. But it's weird that all of a sudden when I wanted to like cancel my order, then they finally reached out to me. But now that I want to keep my order and take them up on their 10% off offer for keeping my order, they don't respond. So I'm guessing I'm just going to pay full price for a dress that's probably going to be shitty. And I don't even know if I'm going to get it because of all the reviews. And I already bought another bridesmaid dress because I was like, I am not even taking the chances. So I already paid another $125 for a different dress.
You might have to do like what I ordered, what I received. TikTok. Yeah.
I will be genuinely shocked, and then I'll take the name off of this website. If I receive I'll shut my mouth if it ends up being an amazing dress. But I don't have high hopes at all. There's also no reviews on the website, but the website looks so freaking legit that I didn't even think about looking at, like, to check if they're a scam website or not. So,
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that's my rant.
I felt, no, that's okay. Because, during COVID, you got married during COVID. So we had to order your dresses from China.
Yeah.
And that was super scary because we had ordered your dresses and we didn't know if they were going to come in for your bridesmaids.
And they ended up working out really well. Honestly, we ordered from this website called JJ's House, and I was the first one out of my friends to get married, but we were kind of skeptical about JJ's House, but we looked at the reviews, and like people would send pictures of themselves in the dresses, and it looked very legit. And then I was like, okay, they have so many options, like let's just buy from here. And everybody really liked their dress. So there's other websites like Azazi, Birdie Gray, but I ended up ordering mine off of like my new one off of a 100% legit website, so I didn't have to worry about another scam. Because imagine if I was bamboozled twice, that would be on me at that point.
No, I appreciated JJ's house. My dress for your wedding was lovely.
I loved your dress.
I,
Picture
I think it
here.
was really nice.
Guys, audio
Picture,
listeners,
yeah.
you have to watch the video if you want to see the picture, but it looked amazing on my mother.
Yeah, it was good. It matched your colors.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, good topic today about vacations. And it's not just the college kids that go to do something on spring break. There's
No,
maybe a
yeah.
little more R X-rated trips for some college students. Yeah, but families go on vacation during spring break. I will
Did
say
you just say there's X-rated? Like in
I
what?
think there is. I think there's,
Like
because
going on spring break?
yeah, it can be a little like R and X rated. I've seen like when I grew up, MTV, they always did those spring break things, and sometimes it would get a little trashy.
Isn't that what it's
Yeah.
supposed to get? Do you want to? So I know you were gonna say something, but we're on the topic of spring break. Most people go to someplace tropical. They like plan it with a group of their friends. Like they drink, have a good time. I chose to go to New York with you for my spring break, which It was a great experience. It was very cold. We're putting up hearts,
Oh
the weird
gosh.
hearts. No, that was actually really fun. We only were there for like 2 days, but we saw a Broadway show, got to see
Hmm.
Anastasia, walked around, went to the Holocaust Museum
No, the
or
World
the
Trade
World Trade
Museum.
Center. Okay, the World Trade
Oh my
Museum.
goodness, the World Trade
I
Center
get,
Museum. That was
yeah, you're
really
right.
touching.
It
Hmm.
was. I love that we did something so somber. And then my next year in college, my sophomore year for spring break, I didn't do anything. And I literally worked the entire time in my apartment. And I was absolutely freaking miserable. That was my own fault though, because I took on this like project that my one professor wanted me to do. And it was way too much. And I hated myself for it. And
Do you
then
think that you were dating Evan? That's why you didn't do anything for spring break.
maybe a little bit, I don't know. That's probably like half of it, but the other half is like I don't have the money to do anything either. My friend group didn't really do anything for spring break. So maybe that's just like me and my friends. But the next year, it was COVID and you were living in California, you and dad,
Hmm.
and my friend Rachel, she was like, "Oh my gosh, why don't we do spring break in California? Cuz all we have to pay for is the flights and like food or whatever." So, we booked that before COVID. And then it was March and COVID was rolling around. And that was so scary because, like, there was scares that flights were going to be canceled and you weren't allowed to, like, fly within the country. And yeah, when we finally got to California, there was also rumors that we would have to, like, fly back the next day for some reason because it was, like, right when COVID hit where everybody just didn't know what the heck was going on. So that was an interesting spring break trip. But yeah, we had fun. That was really annoying though because the apartment that you stayed at shut off the heat in the hot tubs to like draw people away from using them. That pissed me off so much. I was like, the one thing that we have
Hmm.
going to the pool, going in a hot tub. Can't even do that.
They shut out access to the pool, shut off, and this was like right at the beginning. It was, I want to say it was around March 18th, March 15th, March 18th, because both dad and I were sent home to work from the office. We started that in March. It was kind of a voluntary thing. So one of the reasons we went from a one bedroom to a two bedroom. And then you were coming out and you were so worried about not being able to fly back if you
Mm-hmm.
stayed, and everything shut down. I remember we went and got some acai bowls and sat by the beach
Oh my gosh, I remember
in
that.
Newport Beach. Yeah. It was a pretty bummer visit, although visiting with you is not always a bummer. It's
Yeah.
nice.
We made the most of it,
It
I
just,
think.
yeah, it
Sorry, my cat. But
your cat, Finn or
mhm.
Ferb? Finn or Ferb?
Mr. Furby, he doesn't like
Ferb.
fans, and I have a ceiling fan on. And he was about to jump up here, but thank God he didn't
Mhm.
because he would have knocked everything down. And he looked at the fan and he was like freaking out.
No, I don't think
Anyway,
so. All right. So growing up, What was your favorite vacation?
A major one I remember when I was little was going to Disney World for the first time, but I was too short to ride all the rides, so I can't say that that was my favorite. I was really pissed off that I'm like an adrenaline junkie, especially when it comes to like amusement parks. I will ride literally any ride. I don't care how crazy it is. I will go on that ride, but I couldn't do that when I was like, what, 8? I was a literal baby. I don't have a good memory, so it's really hard for me to remember my childhood and where we went. I can
I
remember
can
the
tell you
recent
some places
ones.
we went.
Yeah, where did...
Okay.
Okay, so we went
We
to...
used to go to Whistler. We've gone to Whistler.
Yeah.
We used to go to this place called Tucklenuit in British Columbia, Canada.
I remember
And
that,
it
but I
was
was
this,
also
yeah,
3.
you were 3 or 4. But the fact that
3 or
you
4.
remember that is funny.
Yeah.
I started going there when I was, I think, 12. My family started going every year. And then we took a pause when, I moved from home, graduated, moved away from home. And then we came back to it when you guys were little. You were probably 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Gosh, we didn't do a whole lot in the way of vacations other than we would visit grandma and grandpa
That's
in New
true.
York.
Yeah,
So a
we
lot of
would
our
go to New
trips,
York.
we would stay in the Poconos because we could get a really nice timeshare exchange.
I just remembered a vacation that I completely forgot. We only did this one time, but we took a trip with our extended family, like all of our cousins on my dad's side, and we went to Virginia and we rented out this huge like log cabin mansion thing. And it was, my grandparents were there, like we had all the cousins there, and it was so fun because we had our own little pool in the back, and it was just a vacation where you didn't have to really do anything, which kind of sounds dumb, but I feel like those are the best vacations because you could just like relax and just go swimming, or I don't know, you're not like pressured to do all these activities. I think that was honestly one of my favorite ones. And also just being around family that we normally aren't around.
No, I love that. That was great. We were celebrating your grandparents' 50th.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we actually did a whole vacation. Thankfully they paid for that, which was really
Did
super
they
nice.
actually?
They wanted to do
Oh.
something, but they didn't want to party for their 50th. And so we found this place in Virginia and right by a lake. It was great. It was huge
Mm-hmm.
and everybody was there and we did a little mock wedding vow renewal.
That was
And your
so
uncle,
cute.
we had bridesmaids and we had a veil for grandma. She had no clue. We had gotten them a cake. We had sent them out for dinner and gotten them a cake and did the whole ceremony in the little front
Mm-hmm.
room. Well, it was a pretty big front room.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a nice place because, you could go downstairs, play games, be upstairs reading, just looking at the view, take a walk.
Yeah. Weren't
But
we like near a
you're
lake?
with your
And
cousins. Yeah,
yeah,
we're right near a lake. Yeah.
that was probably...
Yeah, that was a nice trip. I like going on vacations with family.
Me too.
That's why I always invite whoever wants to come.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to fly yourself out, we'll pay for dinners, we'll pay for whatever. You just have to fly yourselves out because we usually exchange our timeshare and get something that actually sleeps more than 4 people. Usually it's like 6 to 8 people, so we have
Yeah.
room. And it's not like we have to do everything together. Like when we were in
Right.
Aruba, I think we did every night together and we had a few fun excursions. But
See,
then,
oh,
you
that was also very... I think I like every trip differently. Like, anyway, sorry.
no, but we did, and because this was for my birthday, we paid for your excursions. You didn't have to come if you didn't want to, but if you wanted to come, yeah, definitely. So we did the sightseeing tour of the island. We did that pirates ship thing, which was a lot of fun. And you got super burnt.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how I, knock on wood, I do not know how I don't have skin cancer. Maybe I do, but I haven't gotten checked.
You'll find
But
it when you're 50, right?
I
It'll
know.
appear.
Now I like, it's so funny um because living in Pennsylvania, I wouldn't tan that well, but I would always want to be tan, so I would sometimes use tanning beds, which I highly don't recommend. I don't do that anymore, but I would do that. And every summer I would get as burnt as humanly possible. But now that I live in California, I am the whitest and palest I have ever been in my entire life. And every time I visit my friends and family from back in PA, they always ask why I'm not tan. And I'm like, just because the sun is shining almost every day doesn't mean I'm going to like lay out, and I don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
I also am just getting to that age where I should be taking care of my skin and not burning every single day. So,
No, that's smart.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
Aruba was a great trip.
Aruba
Too.
was a great trip. Yeah, like I said earlier, every night was my birthday. So we went to all these really excellent restaurants and they were nice. They
They
were
would like be on
nice.
the beach. You'd have like water
The
come up and hit your toes. Like, ugh.
That was so fun. Yeah.
Can we go back, please?
It, well, my 60th, we'll go back.
Yeah.
We'll go back. Your cousins want to come too because they think we have fun when we when we do
Oh, that
stuff
would be
together.
fun.
It would be to get
Dude,
everybody out there.
I'd be 30.
Oh my gosh. Good age. Good age.
I know. I'm trying to like be positive about getting older. It's scary, but
Tell me about it.
sorry, this is the wrong person I should be talking to about it. Do you
So
think
I'm not old. I
No,
just
you're
feel
not
like,
old. You're not.
but even then, like Aruba was good, but I wanted to just like hang at the pool, hang at the beach, do some sightseeing, do a little bit of shopping. I'm not one of these adventurous type of vacationers. I don't want to like, scale a mountain. I would much rather go to an art gallery or go find some hidey hole restaurant that only the locals know about.
Right.
And that to me, that's better than hitting the tourist stuff or being like getting back from a vacation after you've been so active and feeling like I need another vacation just to sleep.
Right.
Like, I think the way I feel now is I want to get to know the area, get to know the people, get to know the culture rather
Yeah.
than just adventure, 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 adventure.
That makes sense.
What about you?
I think I'm a little bit of both because I love exploring. I mean, I like going on hikes and just like being in nature and doing things like zip lining or going to amusement parks and being very active, but at the same time, I also love doing absolutely nothing and laying down the entire day and like reading a book, reading like 2 books in like a day and just having no plans. So I think like a mixture of both is good. Maybe like 2 days worth of activities and then the rest of the time you just don't have plans. Do whatever you want. Maybe like go to a nice restaurant like you said that the locals go to. So yeah, I think I'm like a little bit of both.
Do you find that when you travel, because both you and Evan have allergies, food allergies, do you find it's harder to travel with food allergies? Does it limit your activities?
So normally when we've been going on a little like getaway every year for our anniversary, and our favorite thing is just to find really fun restaurants. So we've been to Vegas a couple times together. We've been to San Diego. We went to Santa Barbara. And before we go, we always make sure there's restaurants that have like gluten-free options or just meals that don't have like gluten in them at all, which I guess that's also a gluten-free option. But yeah, it's not like necessarily difficult because we're just used to it, but we make sure that there's like a couple restaurants that we book beforehand and we do our research before we 100% commit to the area that we're traveling to. But we haven't like traveled out of the country besides Aruba with our family together. So I don't know if it would be more difficult like going to a different country that has, I don't know, like Italy, they're like known for their pastas and their breads and stuff. But I've heard that they have a lot of gluten-free options, which is weird because you wouldn't think that they would just because I feel like their wheat and their like bread and stuff there are a lot more healthier and don't have as much shit in them. So yeah, it's surprising that they do have like options for people, I guess.
Do. You did go to Mexico for your honeymoon. Now that was an all-inclusive, right?
It was. That's right. Okay.
How did they manage that? with your gluten allergies and your dairy allergies?
I mean, with our dairy allergies, we just didn't really care about that. We're more like loose with that, especially when it comes to desserts, because it's just really hard to get away from that. But they did have like gluten free options, and they only had two restaurants open at the place that we were at because, again, it was during COVID. Um, and like they were very accommodating when you go and make your little reservation for the day. So you go and talk to like a little concierge person, um, and they ask you if you have any food allergies. So at first we'd be like, yeah, we have gluten allergies. I don't, but I just, it's my preference to just not eat it. But Evan does. And so they would like not even give us French fries and stuff, which for the most part are gluten free. And so we just stopped saying that we had any gluten allergies and just said like when we ordered our food that it was like a preference, because they would like, even if Evan would have tried to order like a meal with fries, they'd be like, "Oh no, you can't. I'm sorry, like you can't. You have a gluten allergy. You can't order that because we cook it in the same thing." And Evan's like, "No, no, no, it's fine. Like I'm okay." And they're like, "No," and they like wouldn't let him order it. Which like I understand they don't want to get their, guests sick, but
Hmm.
yeah, especially it's just there was a language barrier obviously because I took German in high school and Evan took 1 year of Spanish. So that was our fault for not learning more like phrases
Getting
and stuff in Spanish. But,
they have apps for that now.
you know, so true.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't when I traveled to Italy, I wanted to learn Italian. I actually got one of those, not a Duolingo, but one of those apps.
The Rosetta
I
Stone,
just
didn't you?
yeah, I didn't I had that for French. Yeah, side note, I got that because I used to work in a hospitality interest industry for a tourist site in Lancaster County. I won't say which one. However,
You can say which
a
one.
couple of their a couple of their tour guides would speak French, and I'd know they'd speak French about me. So I was like, I was going to secretly learn French so that I could know what they were saying, at least at a very high level. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to stay with this job. I don't want to deal with it. And I'm working 60 hours a week. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, getting
So
underpaid
yeah,
as well.
that's no bueno.
So you've traveled a little bit out of the country,
Hmm.
obviously to Canada several times because you basically live there. Um, but what would be like your number one place to visit, like the whole world?
I really want to go to Germany again. Like I went there for work, but I loved Florence. I could retire in Florence, Italy. That would
Oh.
be the end all be all. Just get me a nice little two-bedroom apartment right in the middle of Florence, and I will be good. There is so much to see, um, and
Yeah, you
so
talk very
much to
highly of
do.
it.
I do. I fell in love with Florence. And this is a really good segue into like, would you rather travel alone or in groups too? Because like I
Right.
say, I love traveling with family. I love going on vacation with family. I think traveling can be a little bit problematic because if you're traveling to a new country and there's a lot to see, you want to incorporate everybody's vision of what that trip is going to be like. So when I went to Italy, originally it was going to be your dad and I, but he couldn't get time off for, family reasons and whatnot. So I went alone. And the first part of that trip, I was in Tuscany at this kind of villa where they'd serve you your breakfasts and your dinners, and then you'd have, time during the day to kind of explore this little village, which was nice. That's where I rested as much as possible. But when I actually left that a day early and I went into Florence because I was going to spend like 4 or 5 days in Florence, and I wish I would have just stayed in Florence first. It was so beautiful, but traveling alone was scary because um I was on the other side of the Ponte Vecchio, so I'd have to go across the bridge to get into the center of Florence, where the Duomo is and everything. And the first night I was there, I was going to go to a concert, and I was very, very worried because the concert was going to end at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And it was this chamber orchestra, and it was the first concert I've been to post COVID. And I love music. So I was so emotionally excited about this. And loved the whole thing, but I was worried because I'd be in unfamiliar streets, and they had, like, alleyways to get to places, and there was an alleyway to actually get to this concert hall. So I was worried, and as soon as I stepped out, it was like, "Oh, fear be gone," because the city was still alive. Like, the streets were lit up and people were wandering around arm in arm, and then I went and was crossing over the Ponte Vecchio again, and there was a street musician who apparently is a famous pop musician in Italy, but he was just playing there in the middle of the bridge, and I just stopped and I was like, "Oh my gosh," it was just the most romantic, but rotic. We're gonna call it rotic because you don't need a man to feel that romanticism. For anybody who knows me when I grew up, this was a Camp Square thing. It was a very rotic evening where we didn't have a man. It was just um, but it was I just literally fell in love with Florence. I'm like, "You've got this
Oh.
son and, and his older father, and the son must have been maybe in his 30s, and they're sitting on this step right in front of me, and their arms around each other, and they're just singing back and forth along with this musician across the pathway, and was like, "Oh my gosh," and everybody around was just, like, loving the whole thing, and
Mhm.
yeah, I would if I could experience that every night of my life, I would be, like, in heaven. I would
Right.
feel I felt calm and at peace, and yeah, I didn't feel, scared at all. I felt very safe when I was in Florence.
That's
Um,
important, especially
so
like traveling alone as a woman to feel safe. That must have been like a really good, safe area to be in.
yeah, it was, and, the way the streets are, there are a lot of streets and a lot of alleyways, but there's always somebody on it, and there's always like a storefront or something. So you never felt like scared to go down one of those aisles. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously there's probably some places that you don't want to go down to, but yeah, I never felt like if I was walking, along the bridge at night or um along the Arno, because there's pathways on either side of the Arno. I never felt like
What's an Arno?
unease. The river, the Arno River.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The river that runs kind of through and around Florence.
Is it just Florence that you
Yeah.
felt like completely at ease, or is it like also when you were in Tuscany and.
When when I was in Tuscany, I didn't venture out at night,
Okay.
like because it was a very remote Lora Ciufena. I don't know if I said that right, but it's like one of the
Sounded
oldest
fancy.
villages in Italy. Thank you,
Sound-
Lora Ciufena. Um, I will tell you though, I felt very much ill at ease driving through Chianti because I thought the day that I left Laura Chifena and I was going to go into Florence, I had rented a car to get from point A to point B. I will never do that again in Italy because
Wait, why?
Italian drivers, God love them. But it was scary, and I think I had panic attacks driving through Chianti because I got off and I thought, okay, I'm just going to drive some paths because I had GPS. I had my Google Maps. They were telling me where to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't tell you how wide those streets are and how wide those roads are. They're not wide. And I'm driving a tiny little Fiat. I'm literally white knuckling it downhill, not even going uphill, downhill, panicking, two fisting and trying to downshift because all the little cars, you have to pay extra for an automatic. So, of course,
You
you have
were
to get
driving a manual?
yeah, a stick shift, yeah, manual. Little Fiat. Thankfully, they also, everybody's on the correct side of the road. But I white knuckled it the whole way. It was scary. I will never do that again ever. Um, yeah, I
That's terrifying.
and you see these cars, they're just like imagine how small a Fiat is, and the roads are maybe just as wide as a Fiat. And
Ugh.
then you have another car coming up. I felt like, and I'm on the side where the um the cliff, literally the cliff is going down, and I'm like, I can't move over anymore. And this guy's zooming up the hill. And I'm like, you're
Stop.
gonna hit me. You're gonna hit me. I'm gonna die and I'm gonna be rolling down and nobody knows where I'm at because I didn't tell anybody that I was leaving Lord Chifena a day early.
No.
Thankfully though, yeah, I got
That's
into
terrifying.
yeah, and then you drop off your car and they're like, "Oh, we see all these scratches." And I'm like, "I literally drove this car from the airport to Laura Chifena and then back via Chianti. And then one time I drove to Siena, which is just literally one road straight to where you need to be."
Hmm.
He's like, "Oh, the car is all scratched up and everything." And I'm like, "No, I took pictures before." And then he's like, oh, wait, you have full coverage. Yes, I do. Oh, well, this cost you nothing. I'm like,
Thank you
you
very
were gonna
much.
charge me.
Yeah, he
You
was
didn't
gonna little
fix this.
scam you.
You were gonna charge me money. You were trying to, because single woman, who's gonna stand up for her? Nobody, right?
Mm-hmm. No, but you are a
So
strong woman. You can
I
stand
was a
up for
strong
yourself.
woman. The other thing too, quick recommendation, if I don't care, how much it costs, it's worth it to get the full coverage insurance if you're driving somewhere unfamiliar. You never
Oh,
know. Just
true.
do it.
Yeah,
I
different
think for
country
me
for
it was
sure.
like an extra $15 a day. I'm like, I can do that. That wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
I think I had to walk through Stuttgart, Germany, because my luggage was stuck in Vienna. When I left Florence, I was heading to Stuttgart to go do some work in my company's office, and they lost my luggage. Thankfully, here's a good packing tip. You want to make sure that everything's in your carry-on that you definitely need. So I
Mm,
had put all my work clothes. So I had vacation clothes and then work clothes. I put all my work clothes in my carry-ons. So I did a whole switch before I went to Stuttgart. And thankfully, I had
that's so
everything but my
smart.
makeup and my deodorant because I forgot to pack.
No.
So I had to walk through Stuttgart, not knowing where everything is, not knowing how the trains work, and
That's
the
terrifying.
S-Bahn.
The
Like there
S
was, yeah,
Bahn.
the S-Bahn. And but but it was fine. I did a lot of walking when I was on vacation, and it was kind of nice to walk through Stuttgart and see like the newer buildings and the older buildings kind of all nestled together.
Yeah,
So you got
that's
some
really cool.
history and then some new stuff. But yeah, I feel pretty confident traveling alone, kind of adventurous that way.
Would you rather travel alone or with dad, like with your partner?
I love the solitude of not feeling like I have to make sure everybody else is having a good time. That's my default when we're ever
Yeah.
on vacation is, are you having a good time? Do you have everything you need to make sure you are having a good time? Are you not having a good time? What can I do to help you? What can I do to make your day, your vacation better? Because I realize you chose to go on vacation with me. How do I make it better for you? I never default to myself. And I don't know if that's, you know, s- something in my head that I'm a people pleaser, but
Yeah, that
yeah.
could be it.
So I love traveling with people,
Even with one
but
person? Like if it was you and
yeah.
me.
Oh, if it's I totally default to make sure you have a fun time.
I
Like
have fun like wherever I go.
I know. I
As long as there's as long as we're not camping on dirt.
booze.
As long as there's booze, 1,000%.
As long as I get drunk with my mom.
Or I wouldn't want
Yeah.
anything else.
I would honestly go on a vacation with you. Where would you go if we can go on vacation?
Like anywhere?
Yeah.
I really want to go to Germany. I know you
Hmm.
just talked about that and that's where you kind of said that you wanted to go, but I've never been and I feel like it would be fun to go with you and just walk around and explore. I think we would have a good time.
I think we'd have a good time too.
Yeah,
And and to circle back a little bit, I love going on vacation with your dad because I think we both are kind of,
the same vibe. Yeah.
let's just hang out and do nothing, or let's go adventure here. I think I'm tired of planning for other people. So that's
Mhm.
one of the things that I'm like, if you're going to go on vacation with us, I don't want to entertain you
Yeah.
24/7 anymore
That's totally fair.
because I did that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did that a lot. You do it for your job. You're a project
Yeah.
manager, so you don't want to have to do it on vacation. You don't want to have to work
No,
on
no.
vacation. Yeah.
Okay, good question though. If we went to Germany, what could
Yeah.
we do? I know everybody wants to go to Germany. Um, right now it's not in the budget.
I know.
Someday it'll be in the
Someday.
budget. We got plans. We
Yeah.
got plans. I'd definitely go on vacation with you. I like our side trips. We've done a couple New York things
Yeah.
together.
And that was so fun.
Hmm.
I feel like we both have a good time.
Yeah, they were fun. Yeah. Emma used to be really into Project Runway. So for one of her birthdays, we did a whole Parsons mood excursion. And then we
Hmm.
went and we got cupcakes. It wasn't sprinkles, was it? It was some
No,
other
there were these like
mini
really
cupcake place.
micro cupcakes. They were like one by
Yeah.
like the tiniest. They were so cute and good.
Yeah, they were good. And your grandma, bless her. came with us. We were so fortunate on that trip, though. I had some friends who worked in the industry in Broadway, and so we went and saw Phantom of the Opera, which I love Phantom of the Opera. I'd see that all
Oh, me
over and
too.
over again.
Yeah.
But we got this great backstage tour of Phantom afterwards.
That was amazing.
The actress who played Christine Daae, she gave us the tour backstage. And it was just via, one of my friends that I had known from community theater that was now working in the city. So that was
Yeah.
fun. See all the costumes.
That was
Just to
amazing.
take pictures.
Yeah, that was so cool.
And to see backstage.
I love that trip.
Yeah, backstage it was so small for that
Oh,
big
yeah.
show. You had to climb up stairs and catwalks to get from one side
Oh
to the
my
other,
gosh.
downstairs in the basement. Remember they had like a spiral staircase that they had to go up, and yeah, it was crazy.
And the crew, they would sleep between shows. So they have these like hammocks that they would sleep in under the stage.
That's right.
That was wild.
We had to be really quiet because there were these cocoon hammocks hanging like between rigging and stuff, and there were crew members sleeping. I remember that. It was like, okay, you have to be really quiet right now because they're sleeping in there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah. People that work in Broadway just like sell their lives away, slave their lives away. Like it is a lot of work. I can't imagine working like literally 7 days a week. They work every single day.
They do. Well, I think, they would. They would, plus twice.
They work 8 days a week.
Do that. 8 days a week.
Yeah, that was a great trip.
So would you travel alone? Are you comfortable traveling alone?
This is a big question. I think it depends on where, because, oh, dude, I don't know. Ask me again in like 10 years, because right now I just I wouldn't feel comfortable. I don't think. Like, I love like spending time by myself at home. So I think if it was like a familiar place that I've already been to and I'd be able to just like go to a coffee shop and like hang back at my hotel or whatever, I think I'd be able to keep myself occupied and have a good time. But it wouldn't be as fun as going with Evan or with you or my friends, All
right, let's talk. Let's ask this question.
Yeah.
If you could travel, let's say you don't want to travel alone, Evan can't go anywhere with you. If you could travel with anybody from history, who would you travel with?
Oh, this is a big question. I don't want to say. I'm going to need a minute to think about this. Do you have, can I Uno reverse this and ask you? Because I need a moment to think. I want to hear what you would say. And then maybe I'm like, oh, that person. I don't have someone on the top of my mind.
Somebody from history.
Does it have to be from history? Or can it be like a celebrity?
I would say right now it's somebody from history. So I'm ruling out Amelia Earhart. Just because I don't trust her flying ability.
Stop. That's
just Gosh, who would I love to go on a historic? Somebody from history.
See, it's a hard. I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm not that smart. I don't know who's definitely Hitler. So I could take him to I could just take him somewhere far away. Could I time travel so he could I would time travel him to the end of the world and drop him off and then come back. Cause see, you said travel, and that's traveling.
Who would you travel with? Yeah,
exactly. I'd take Hitler, pluck him out of time.
That's Doctor Who traveling. Do do do. That's Doctor Who traveling. We don't do Doctor Who traveling. But... yeah, that's true. How we're gonna get our traveling through?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, somebody from history.
I have one.
Who? Okay, who from history?
Jesus Christ.
Really?
You're telling me you wouldn't want to travel with him? Are you kidding?
I guess he's. I don't see him as.
I was trying to get some ideas, so I Google searched What did I Google search? I went down a little rabbit trail, and my search is, who is the most well-known person to ever exist? Jesus Christ. It's not wrong. I travel with him.
No, I travel with him daily. How's that for existential? Jesus lives in my heart, so I travel with him
Okay.
daily.
But like, imagine like the physical version of him and not the Holy Spirit.
I
Not just
would
the Holy Spirit.
say
I love that you're also doing research. See, you need to add in celebrities to the mix. We are not smart women. We can't use our brains that way.
oh,
We're smart women. We're just, that's a lot
we're
to think
smart
about.
women. Okay. Gosh, who would I travel with?
I already know you'd say Alan Rickman,
This
but
might
this is a.
Well, yeah, of course. That's one person actually I had once I was thinking Albert Einstein first.
Hmm.
I would love to travel with him, but then I'd also like to travel with, well, this kind of goes back to Italy, like Michelangelo and Galileo, like I would love to travel with them in the current time to see, like, especially Michelangelo, even Galileo,
Mm-hmm.
to see what they think of how modern our world has gotten,
Oh,
you know?
that's a good one.
hmm
But that's time traveling, buddy.
No, no, no. If they're historical figures, I travel today
With
with
it
them.
today. Okay, okay, okay. That makes sense.
I'd pick them up in my TARDIS, grab them, or my phone booth, a la, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I'd pick them up and bring them to modern times, and then we go travel the globe for a while. And I would want to hear what they would feel and think. I bet you they'd fix this world right up.
Yeah.
Especially Michelangelo. He'd be like, "You guys are such idiots. You should
Yeah,
have
they'd
done
be so
this and this and
disappointed
this." Yeah. Yeah.
about
I
that's
agree with that.
that makes me think
hmm
of the see now I think I know who I would want to travel with because of the one Doctor Who episode of Van Gogh. And he didn't think that I know it's such a good one. If you guys don't watch Doctor Who, please just watch Google search. I don't know what it streams on Disney Plus, is it?
I think only the specials are on Disney Plus.
Ah,
But you
damn.
can find somewhere, and I know you can buy them on Amazon or on, Apple TV. You can buy an episode, but Vincent and the Doctor,
Yeah, that's what it's called.
that's the one.
Oh, so freaking good. So basically, like
hmm
what happened in that episode is they time travel back to Vincent van Gogh before he's even like well known at all. He's just
Famous, yeah.
painting his paintings, and he's painting like his most popular paintings they're witnessing in like real time, and he just like keeps shitting on himself, like doesn't believe that he's good or worth it or whatever. And then if you haven't seen the episode and you want to watch it, skip forward like 30 seconds. But basically, because spoilers, they end up bringing him back to modern times to, I don't know what museum like was housing his paintings, but he was able to
hmm
see everybody appreciate his paintings, and he's like sobbing, and just the fact that he just didn't have a lot of self-worth, and then being able to see everybody appreciate his work and talk so highly of him, it yeah, there's no words. But anyways, they drop him back off in time, and then he still ends up, which is really upsetting.
Unaliving himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even after knowing,
Ugh.
but even then, like, this is going to go off topic, so I'm not going to touch on it too much, but I would say a lot of people have that. They don't feel confident in their skills.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he was the first example of imposter syndrome. I'm really
Yeah.
not an artist. Everybody tells me I suck, and then all of a sudden I find out, oh, I didn't suck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but even then, you're so ingrained that no matter what you do and what you achieve, you're still not feeling you're good enough.
Yeah.
And I think that can weigh you down more than anything else, which is why you need to travel to
Mm-hmm.
experience different worlds and different cultures.
Yeah, I think he'd be a great person to bring into modern times and do the same exact stuff. Just show him you made it, buddy. Everybody loves you and is obsessed with you. Like,
hmm
I think it'd be so cool to see someone that doesn't think they're worth it, like show them how much of an impact they've made.
You know, and this is getting more religious a little bit. We're going to kind of delve into that, but that's sometimes what the thought process is with Christians too when they get to heaven. you're actually exposed to the changes and the impacts you made throughout your lifetime, and then how those changes or the things that you did impact future generations. Um, so we'll never be able to reap what we've sown
Mm-hmm.
because, some things lay dormant for quite a while. And so in our lifetimes, we'd never be able to do that. If you could, though, would you travel back in time
To like any time
to change things, to
to
fix
change things from
things?
my own past.
Mm-hmm.
That's so hard because I wouldn't want it to affect the future that I have now. Because I really
Mm.
love everyone that I'm friends with. I love my husband and
You love your
I
mom.
love you. Uh, but there are
She
some
said that
things
earnestly, by the way. Her face was earnest.
very earnest. What does earnest mean? I know.
Honestly.
Okay, that's what I figured. It's the blonde coming through. I definitely think there are some things that I would want to tell myself that I know now. Like I would love to. I know that would like cross path. Like I feel like it's illegal in time traveling to talk to yourself, but I would want to talk to myself to straighten myself up in some situations. And obviously, like I was very insecure as a kid, so I wish I would just figure my shit out sooner than later. And I wasn't that nice to some people in my relationships, and I think I've learned so much now that I'd want to be able to tell myself so I could just be a better person overall. But I don't think I would really change anything. Maybe some of my embarrassing moments, I would like pluck myself out of that. But yeah, I don't know. Would you?
I was thinking of that while you were talking, and I don't know if I would. I would definitely stand up for myself more
Yeah.
rather than just walk away. I tend to default to that anyways because it's like it's self-doubt and imposter syndrome. And I think the hardest thing for me is being my own advocate.
Mm.
And what empowers me, and this kind of circles back to the travel thing, is when I'm out there on my own, that's when I see what my true strength is. When I'm not
Right.
having to rely on somebody or manage something for somebody else. When I'm out there on my own, I see, who I really am, what my strength is, and it empowers me to feel confident in moving forward. So traveling
Mm-hmm.
to a foreign country on your own, not knowing the language, not knowing any of the people, not having
Mm-hmm.
been there before empowers you because you have time to learn, about yourself and about the other cultures, and you see it through your eyes. But I would definitely try to empower myself if I could go back in time.
Yeah.
Maybe say some pretty harsh words to some people who were not very nice to me.
I agree. I was hoping that you would say something like that. Yeah. But I think everything that we've been through makes us the people that we are today. And I agree with when you're traveling alone, you really find out more about yourself and your strengths. I would love to take a little solo vacation, but it would just have to be in like a very quaint, not busy area. I don't know if I could go across, like go to a different country alone. I
Mhm.
applaud you for doing that because that sounds terrifying, honestly. And
It
I don't want to
is.
keep going back to your trip, but
I've taken solo vacations just because my job afforded me more paid time
when your
off
job
than
was
your dad's.
nice.
But my job was nice. Yeah. Yeah, Emma and I get along really well. I think we would be good travel
Yeah,
companions.
I think so too. And I feel like we like similar stuff now that I'm older, especially. So it makes
Hmm.
traveling and doing things easier and not as stressful, which is nice.
And going to new places and exploring new places through each set of eyes. I'm obviously older and wiser, but you're younger and more adventurous.
See, yeah, we complement each other.
We
No, that's
do.
okay. You're definitely wiser.
You'll find out soon enough how wise I
What?
am. Ha ha ha.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Like as soon as you're my age, you'll
Oh,
realize,
oh,
man, my
oh.
mom didn't really know much.
No.
I thought she knew so much.
My mom actually didn't know anything. So, no, okay. The fact that we're talking about travel, I did this thing the other day. It's called Journey, not with a Y, with two E's. And basically, it's this website that you go on, you sign up, and you either say you're traveling alone or with somebody else. And you put in information like what you like to do on vacations, if you like to, ride bikes, if you like to be in the ocean, be near beaches, be near big cities, whatever. And you kind of like put in from a scale of like 1 to 5 on each thing of what you like to do. And so it comes like with a whole bunch of questions that it asks you about stuff you like to do on vacations. And then a day later, it gives you this proposal, basically giving you like a mystery vacation.
So you wait. You don't know where you're going?
Yeah, it's a mystery. So I did this for both of us, and I got our little proposal. And what I told them, I like towns and countryside. I base it off of like you and me, so my mom and me. We like local food. We like popular sites a little bit. We like museums and galleries. And the main thing we wanted to do was visit a new destination. So it also doesn't take you anywhere in the US, the UK, or places that you've been before if you want to put that as an option. And it doesn't take you to the place where your passport is issued. So, sorry, that's my cat's food. I'm gonna pause. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's still going. I'm just worried.
Nope. Can't hear it.
Okay. All right. Jesus, how much food do they need? Okay. You can also decide where you don't want to go. So I don't want to go to Mexico just because I've been there. And I didn't want to go to Africa solely because I feel like with us two, it would be a lot of activities we would get ourselves into, which it wouldn't be as like relaxing, I feel like, as a vacation we want it to be, So it said we will have 3 experiences on our vacation. We will do a guided hike along a famous stretch of land featuring stunning mountainous views. You can exclude yourself if you don't want to do the hike, Mom. Admire your destinations, lesser known greenery along this mazy path. It will take you to some off the beaten track villages, an e-bike tour, because I know you like riding bikes.
I love riding bikes. Yeah.
Taking you to the highlights of your eclectic destination. Be prepared to be surprised by captivating stories about the city. An awesome day trip, which will take you to some beautiful coastal sceneries and villages. You'll stop by some interesting towns with plenty of stories before heading to a stunning viewpoint that you might recognize from the TV. I swear if it would take us to Paris, I'd be out. I'm sorry, I don't want to go to Paris. I've heard so many bad things.
I don't know if there are any hills in Paris. I heard Paris is dirty, but
I've heard
I
bad
won't
things
go there.
Paris. No dissing Paris, but I've heard they also don't like Americans that try to speak French. They'll just speak English back to you, no matter how good you are. So that's not on the bucket list for us. So yeah, it tells you like a couple things that you'll be doing on your vacation. And you can add more than 2 people. So you can like go with like a group of friends if you want. And our duration will be 9 days. You can add or subtract days. And it books your flights for you. You can say how flexible you are. So I said we're like flexible, depends on how much we want to spend. But yeah, so you also get to pick your like accommodation and what that would look like. You could upgrade your accommodation if you want to pay more money to like have them find a place that's nicer. And then it gives you how much the trip would cost per person. And yeah, so once you actually, we don't have the money to do that right now, but it was fun to see what it would be like.
How much are they saying it's going to be per person?
Per person, it would be $2,715. It gets you flights, accommodation.
Wait. 2,000 each? 2,000?
$715.
Okay,
Yes.
you get flights, you get accommodations.
Flights, accommodation, and
Do you
experiences.
get dinners
You get
and
2 carry-on bags per person. You can give them like a lower budget. I just did the recommended one, which was 3,000 per
mhm,
person, so I just clicked on that, but that is
mhm.
a lot of money. So,
Not for 9 days though, to travel to a foreign country,
that's true.
unless you're like,
I
in
guess it isn't a lot of money cuz
luggage.
yeah, well
If
you
you're in the
get
belly of the
2
plane,
yeah, right.
it's obviously not first class tickets.
That's true. I guess it's not that much. Cuz like a flight would
No.
be $1,000 on its own,
Mhm.
depending on where you go. So yeah, I think once you get your once you buy or reserve, I guess, once you reserve your trip, you get these clues that they'll send you so you can like kind of try to figure out where you're going. You can end up requesting to know where you're traveling to, I'm pretty sure, if you don't want it to be a surprise. And then once you're ready to go and you're at the airport, you get sent your destination if you do keep it a mystery. And then that's when you find out where you're going, which I think is so
So
cool.
would you really want to do this? You'd do this with me?
I would. If we had the money,
Okay,
100%.
we need to crowdsource it, crowdfund it. What's it called? GoFundMe.
We need
GoFund
to
me.
GoFundMe for a vacation.
Send Amy and Emma on a vacation.
We get like $2.
That's $2 closer to
Yeah.
and let's say I really hated where they sent me. At least I could complain about it and I wouldn't be blaming myself.
True.
Well, you picked this. No, I didn't pick this. Somebody else picked this. I didn't know what they were going to do. I just sent them my money. I like to explore like local areas, like where I live now. I haven't explored everything, just because my work-life balance was pretty much just work, 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 and
Mm-hmm.
balancing that. So, but there are some there's some really cool places in this area. Like I was just watching Glory, and I love that movie. About the Black Regiment that fought during the Civil War. But I
Yeah.
realized, wow, they filmed this, and the cemeteries here where most of the soldiers are buried here, and I was like, I really need to go to that area. Literally like 10 minutes from my house. So just being able to
Wait, is it
just being
actually?
able to it's yeah, it is. Yeah. They filmed like they even talk about Beaufort, South Carolina. Now you know where I live. Um they talk about Beaufort, South Carolina in the movie. That's where they set up the regiment at first. And but fun fact, there's like tons of stuff just even locally that you could go see and explore. I'm sure even
Yeah,
where you live, there's got to be something there. I have friends that vacation that want to come here and vacation. So I'm like, oh, well,
me.
I live where people want to vacation. Have to come out again when it's hot so we can go to the beach.
I
'Cause we're so close to the
know.
beach.
Yes. I would love to come back out.
East Coast oceans are way better than West Coast oceans. There, I've said it. I've said it.
Okay,
You
so
can
I think
you can slam me for all you want, but
no,
it's
I'm
true.
not gonna slam you. Other people can, but I think I love looking at the beaches in California because I think they're prettier. The ocean, like the water is clear, unless you
Mhm.
go to like south of Florida where the water's like crystal clear and the beaches are like white. Okay, but the
Mhm.
sand is white. But we have so many beautiful beaches here in Southern California that each beach is like a little bit different and has like I don't know, they're just so pretty. But you cannot go in the water and tell me that it's like not cold. Like it's like the Titanic cold when you're going on the beach. I don't care
Mhm.
what time of year it is. It is always going to be cold. And that's what I hate about California beaches cuz like yeah, we live so close to the beach, but we never go because it's always so cold. You can dip your
Mhm.
feet in the water and that's pretty much it. But I totally agree. I think beaches on the East Coast are a lot better in the sense that you can actually swim in them and not freeze your
Mhm.
toes off.
Yeah, by June and July, you could just like walk in the water. Boom.
Yeah.
Just walk. And Dad and I would always go on the weekend. We go in the mornings between 9 and 12 because it's always hot in the summer. So, we go Saturday and Sunday and just go hang out at the beach for a few hours. And then everybody wakes up and they come and we're heading out now. but we get a few hours of beach. Your dad is funny with the beach.
How
Um,
so?
so there's a lot of shells.
No
It's
way.
gonna be funny. There's a lot of shells at the beach, and when the
Would
tide's
never
going in
know.
and out, they're rolling. He freaks out whenever something touches his feet and he can't see it in the water. Like he has occasionally screamed like a little girl. So we had to get we had to get like a floaty for him so his feet wouldn't water so he could float in the ocean.
That's
And then we got
amazing.
him we just got these boogie boards, so we have these boards that we
Oh,
can bring to
cool.
the beach now so he can like lay and float on them. But we do get the waves, not as high as the California coast,
Hmm.
but we do have some pretty cool waves that come in too when the wind is blowing offshore.
No,
But
sometimes the
yeah, definitely bath water. You
yeah,
walk right in.
bathwater in the best way. People that pee in the ocean, I guess it's. I was gonna say people that pee in pools.
Oh, pee in pools.
Absolutely not. Do not
No.
come near me. Do not be in the pool and pee in that pool while I'm in it. Actually, just don't do it in general. It's so gross. I hate when people do that. I hate it. I don't care how old you are. If you're 2, get out of the pool. No, but even in the oceans, don't do it near me. Do it a mile
You
away.
always you always know when somebody's peeing in the ocean.
No, it's so they'll just be quiet.
It's like one person just kind of walks out,
No, but that's so great. You're swimming
scans
in their.
above waist, and just like, oh,
Stop that. I I think I probably
and then
peed
they
in
hang
the.
out for a while.
I just I can't do it. My body, one, my body won't let me, and 2, I think it's absolutely disgusting. Don't pee near me. I don't want to like bathe in your pee. That's so gross to me. I
I
don't.
think if it's you have to figure out the amount of dead fish that are all around you
That's
and
fine.
shells
I
and
don't want
all that
human
stuff,
piss.
and
That's supposed to be in the ocean, mother. God made the ocean.
I know,
That's
but
supposed to be in
there's
the
there's
ocean.
do fish pee? Do fish pee?
Obviously. But human
Okay,
pee is
so you're
different
swimming in.
because you're
Okay,
conscious enough to be like, I could go use the bathroom that's just right over there, literally 30 feet away, or I could pee right next to my friend.
okay, so I've been in some of those bathrooms in California. Now, you just said you don't swim in the California bathrooms, but I've been in
I
some of
mean, the
those, and those are
California pool,
nasty.
the California
The
beaches.
California pools, California beaches. I know you don't swim in the California beaches
Yeah.
because it's too cold, but the bathrooms in those areas are absolutely disgusting. Like, this is what I don't understand is why people come to California to go on vacation, because you can't go in the water. There's homeless people everywhere. There's drugs. Like, you go to Venice Beach,
Okay, you're
it's
going to
like
the
you
wrong
can
part.
smell pot. Like, oh, Venice Beach is like
I don't see anything wrong with
famous.
that. No, it is. We
But
went to
like
Venice Beach.
if you choose to imbibe, that's different. But if you are on the beach and you are just sitting in a tent and you're smoking pot, I know it's legal, but it's like disgusting. Like it just smells bad. It's like everywhere you go, it smells like pot.
I think it depends where you go, because certain parts of LA and near Venice Beach, even like near Santa Monica, can be like that. But where I live, and in Orange County, there's not as much
I,
homeless people. They ship them off to somewhere else, which is that okay? I don't know, but it makes
okay,
it
I'm gonna
better.
stop you.
Stop
I'm gonna
me.
stop you right there, my friend, because when we came to your apartment complex, hot. Like walking through your complex, all I smelled
Oh, well,
was pot.
yeah. My complex, yeah, you can definitely smell that everywhere. But other places
Yeah.
that aren't around me.
Okay. Yeah, you have to go elsewhere. I will say though, the shopping malls in LA are great, so kudos to those.
Yeah, the Grove,
Irvine,
Beverly
the
Hills.
Grove. Yep. Oh, the Grove is nice. That's one of the things I do like about LA and California and Southern California in particular is that there's so many options for food and things to do. But if you're going to the beach, if you're going to California for the beach, no, go to Florida.
Yeah.
and go to the coast. Go to the Gulf Coast. That's got the white sand
In
beaches.
Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah, south of Florida.
go to the Gulf Coast. But if you're in California and you just want to get the vibe, yeah, there's lots of places to stay that are
Yeah, has
not
good vibes.
not like Venice Beach that have good vibes. Irvine's beautiful. Like the way they keep Irvine is very clean and nice, so that's why I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like Palm Springs.
Palm
Palm
Springs is
Desert's
nice.
nice.
Yeah, it's just really
Mhm.
hot.
Super hot
I
though. It's
know. It's
like
always freaking
the
hot.
paint on the door was bubbling. That's how hot it was.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
my gosh.
that
And
one
you
that
just
one
want to
place we
poke
rented.
it.
Yeah, you wanted to poke the hole because the paint was like this big, huge bubble of blue, and you just want to, and you know you shouldn't do it, so you didn't do it.
The temptations
But
are crazy.
where we stayed in San Diego was nice.
Yes, I love San Diego.
No, I've traveled. I've been to inside the United States. I lived in Oklahoma. I won't do that again.
What, you don't like living in the middle of absolute nowhere?
I felt so landlocked because
Oof.
even though I lived in Washington State, I was on the coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Oklahoma, you're so landlocked. There's no bodies of water
I
anywhere.
hate that.
Um,
It's like
mhm.
claustrophobic.
Yep, absolutely. Um, no, I liked living in Irvine area, Newport Beach, Irvine area. I liked living in where I live now, South Carolina on the coast.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of liked Washington State for the mountains.
Oh yeah, it has some nice scenery
Yeah,
and the Twilight
yeah.
vibes. Which, of course, when Twilight came out, is when we like booted over to the other side of the country.
I know. Sorry, I did
How
not like Pennsylvania as much.
you didn't like the Amish, the Amish.
Oh,
Didn't like the Amish.
it was so weird because I'm a pretty friendly person, but I lived there almost 12 years and never came out with a best friend. And I'm like,
People are very stuck in
that's
their
so
ways
weird.
there.
But I have like best friends from Washington. It's if you're not from the area, especially Lancaster County where I live, people just they'll be nice to you, but that's it.
Yeah,
You'll never be invited to people's birthday parties or family events unless you invite them, then they'll come and join you.
right.
But the invitation was never extended to us. I think we went to one party that an invitation was extended to us, and other than the host talking to us, nobody else spoke to us. And I was just like, I'm ready to go now.
Yeah.
And these were people that we knew, like from church and everything. And I'm like, okay, I think it's time to go now. But I wasn't the only one that was like a transplant to Lancaster County or even Pennsylvania that has felt the exact same
You
way.
know, that's so funny
And
because so many people that I've met in California are from Pennsylvania or like lived near Lancaster. And I'm wondering if they felt the same way and that's why they moved somewhere that they knew people or just not so like, I don't want to say conservative, but like stuck in their ways and very reserved, you know? I feel like Pennsylvania is a very like, people are very reserved there and don't like to
yeah,
open up.
they don't, but there's a lot of secrets that go on there. I could tell you stories, but I won't. Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet anyway. But yeah, maybe because, I didn't involve myself in certain activities. I don't know.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think too as you get older, you keep your group of friends kind of small.
Hmm.
And I have a nice small group of friends, and now I have a daughter who wants to travel with me. So that's super awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
she gained another friend and I gained another friend. It was much needed
yeah.
because we were
Yeah. And
we need friends.
I think too that mom and daughters can be friends. So don't let anybody tell you any different.
Yeah.
Um,
Past the age
and
of
it may not
like
happen
16, 18.
16, 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you got out of high school and you're really starting to think about what am I going to do with the rest of my life, that's when it's important to loop your mom back in,
Yeah. Loop her back in.
you know.
So thank you for coming on this adventure with us. Thank you for traveling with us. No, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to our amazing voices. I can't wait to talk to you guys next week. Make sure to tune in, please.
Leave us a comment. Share with your friends if you're on YouTube watching us. Let us know if there's any topics you would like us to talk about. But definitely anything that's said here is kept between us.
Have a good rest of your week.
Am I doing it? Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way.
Have a good rest of your week. Okay.
Bye, friends.
That was a long one.